I can't see comments for anyone that's watching because I've gone landscape, or I don't know how to see comments in landscape. So if anyone's commenting, I just thought I'd do something a little bit different and drop a bit of food in on one of my tanks. Let's see if I can find comments. Let's close that. Let's get rid of that. Let's share. What's that? There we go. I can see them now. Hi everybody. Hi Rye. Hi Shane. They sort of pop up, but I think I have to tap on them. And they disappear. So for those of you that are watching, I've fed Shirakura Ebidama, and in my opinion, one of the best shrimp foods on the market. I do use a few. I rotate my foods, but the Ebidama is by far my favourite, and as you can see, it brings all the shrimp to the yard. So these are my galaxies, galaxy fish bones. Some of them are really nice. Now that I've well, you won't have seen this video yet, but now that I've reset my mix tank, I can now start the cull on these. So I'm just going to sort of remove, I'm going to set a day aside every week to go and look at this tank and remove what I don't want in there into the mix tank. I'm sort of half tempted to remove the lower grade galaxies into their own tank and then sell low and medium grades. There are some absolute stunners in here with blue metallics and really nice backlines, but there are also some not so good ones. I'd say 60% are okay, or to my liking. And I've just noticed that my stick-on thermometer is it's come off and it's floated around the back of the tank. So my daily tasks in here, dependent on what I'm doing, is check the room for any fatalities. I get the odd one now and then, but shrimp only live for a couple of years anyway. And usually when you've put new stuff in tanks, so last week I bought a couple of expensive shrimp. I think the video goes out a week on Sunday, so not this Sunday, the Sunday after. And I put them in a little breeder box. pH is perfect, everything's fine actually on this tank, and I've got one that's malted and the malt is still attached to its legs. It hasn't pulled it out of its legs. I think I'm going to lose it. They're circa £100 each shrimp that I bought. I only had a couple of them and I'm probably going to lose one of them. So it is what it is. Stuff happens. Moving them, transferring them can be bad, but as you can see from this tank, and they've dragged that food. So let me see if I can move this. They've dragged that bit of food over into that corner. But this tank is the one with the Higer. I did a wall on this, so green walls are absolutely morning. Green wall, hi good, hi Homer. The absolutely perfect for baby shrimp. So you can see on that wall there, I don't know if you guys can make this out what you're watching on, but there's loads of baby shrimp on the algae wall. So algae walls are really beneficial for baby shrimp. When I set tanks up, I'm always in a rush, as are we all. We live in Thanks. We live in a fast food world, you know, I know that. And realistically, with Caradina, although I cycle, if it's a leaching soil, I'll cycle until it's done. Do a 95% water change and then give it a couple of days and put shrimp in. If I'm cycling a non-leaching soil, I don't add ammonia, but I cycle it until I can see life in that tank, copepods, algae, stuff like that, and then put shrimp in. Whereas in reality, what I probably should do is I should cycle that tank for 6, 7, 8 weeks until it's got a really heavy green wall, and then put the shrimp in. But I'm impatient, like everybody. I want to get stuff done. I've started doing a lot of vlog style stuff. So every time I'm in the room, if I've got something that I think's worth sort of adding to the vlog, I add it. So yesterday and the day before, I moved all my. So I'd got a tank that was ready to move just 3 weeks, and I moved all my mixed Caradina into that. My coal tank, you know, you could call it a coal tank. And then yesterday I cleaned out, painted the back. So I put a blue back on the tank that I took those shrimp out of, and I've set that up for cycle. I always date my tanks. I always put what soil I've used and the date, so I know when it's set up, and it will give me an indicator of when I need to reset a tank. But I've probably always got one on the go, the way I've set things up. So I've always got, you know, almost an empty tank, or I'm just about to empty a tank. I don't. So what I do with quarantine is, as you can probably see, let me just quickly move that up. So what I do is I use a small breeder box, and I've got a couple of these, some larger, some smaller. I put on the weir, I don't know if you guys can see that from there. On the weir, I put a sponge. So in this weir here, I've got a coarse sponge, and I leave them in there for 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, just till I'm happy that they're doing okay. And see if I can zoom this a bit. I don't know if I can zoom it for you, just so I can keep an eye on them more than anything, you know, and they're sort of not lost in the vegetation, which is how I noticed yesterday that shrimp was. He got the molt off, but he couldn't get his legs out the molt. I have tried to take a bit of it off, but I'm just reluctant to sort of grab hold of a shrimp in one hand, get a pair of tweezers, and pull his legs off. So if you hear a bang in the background, like a crack, I've got a fly zapper in here because I keep isopods as well. You tend to get a few fungus gnats until your springtail colony sort of took over that. So I'll get the odd one. Well, I'll get a few a day actually, and that's what you can hear. But I can turn it off if it's annoying anyone. Just ask, and I'll tell the Amazon device to switch it off. So you can probably see on the backs of some of these, there's like a blue sheen. So a blue metallic in them, and some have got more than others. Hi Marie. That one's, I think it is fluval, but I think when I bought it, it was Marina, Hagen Marina. So I don't really quarantine anything, and I only buy off people that I know well. So Rob, Mr. Fishbert, I buy shrimp. Well, I've had shrimp off in the past. Daniel Siemniak, the Manchester breeder. So a week Sunday, my videos usually go out at or around 6 p.m. on a Sunday. I'll drop random ones midweek, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and sometimes I'll drop a Saturday vlog. But my Sunday ones I've got planned in for quite a while, and I've had to juggle them around. So there is a video a week Sunday with Daniel, the shrimp breeder, with 85 tanks. from Manchester here. He actually came down and bought me some. Well, he didn't bring me. He didn't bring me some. He always brings me presents, but I bought some shrimp off him, and he always adds a few extra in. So that video goes out a week on Sunday. And these are by far my favourite of the Carradina that I keep. I've got a couple actually. There's these and my fancy tigers, and I was sitting watching the tank yesterday, just before the England game. I was sitting watching the fancy tiger tank, and I've already got my eye on 3 or 4 shrimp that I'm going to select out. One's definitely male, 2 of them are female, and I was undecided on the 4th, but 1 male, 2 female will work, and I'm gonna separate those out into a tank. So currently I've got my mixed tanks done. I've got another tank cycling that was done on the. Let's have a look. I did date it, but I reused the soil that lasts a couple of years, and I took it out of the tank, so it's actually a year old. I think I did it the same day as the other one, so I've probably got a week or 2, and then the plan is to move some of the stuff out of my. I want to move my tigers, my mixed tigers. So that's sort of an experiment tank where I threw a couple of orange eye blue in with wild red tigers, and I've ended up with wild tigers, a rusty coloured striping on one with a blue belly and orange eyes, and I'm just going to sort of keep playing with that. And if I get a few of a specific casts that look really mint, I'll separate them out into another tank and see if I can stabilise a line. But if anyone's interested, UK obviously, I've got a tank of tangerine tigers. I reckon there's 30 in there, and I want to sell the whole colony. So, and I'll do it at a good price as well. Let me quickly have a look at these messages because I'm not by them. Rob, why aren't you asleep? Hi, Rob. I was I've got okay, Marie, that's brilliant. It's just something that I wanted to keep for ages, and I've sort of changed. I want to do other things, but I'll let you know once they're ready to go. They're ready to go. I need to count them up and let you know how many and sort of price out and stuff. But I've currently got them on the website at $3.99 each, but they'll be nowhere near that because I want to sell the whole colony. So I'll do a deal on the whole colony. If you're interested in those, I'll message you and stuff. But so Rob, I'm not reading chat because I'm not standing behind the camera. I'm actually walking around the room doing other things with a wireless mic on. I'm looking at the so that shrimp's still alive. I'm hoping I'll do that. So they're currently on a soil called Blau Activa with a pH of about 6.3, 6.5. But I keep them on exactly the same parameters, remineralized RO with 150 TDS, and they've done well on that Blau soil. And I've got some. I don't know if I've got black. I might have brown. Got some small bags of that, and I've only got them in a 25-litre tank as well. I'll don't know if I can. Let me quickly. Bear with me. I'm going to see if I can. Sorry, I've got this sort of set up quite precariously. Let me. These guys. There's a couple buried in there as well. So at the moment they're on a soil called Blau Activa. They're quite big, and and there. So I've got them up. They're currently $3.99 each. That's what I sell them for. But probably 30 plus, I'd say, in there. Just loads up the back on the filter. Let me say some have got a better colour than others, but I reckon there's about 30 in there, maybe a bit more. Although I'm terrible at calculating how many shrimp I've got, because yesterday when I moved or the day before when I moved they're not on tap water. So the day before when I moved the mixed, I guesstimated that there was 50, and and I stopped counting at 75. So I'm not fantastic at sea pennies. Yeah, they're not on tap water. Um, Tangerines can live on some tap water, but I think the transition from RO to tap water wouldn't be great. You'd probably end up losing more than you saved, even if you drip them slowly. So my daily tasks then: mist the frogs, keep their humidity up, and just pumping up the mister. Mist the frogs. I'm not by the screen, guys. Mist the frogs. Check the plants if they need water in, the plants that aren't in terraria. Mist the spiders every day. I know Rob doesn't do his every day, but I do. Don't need to do that one. I did it yesterday. So check all the tanks for any fatalities. Let's do these spiders. Check all the tanks for any fatalities, and then specific days I do specific things. So I've got a board. This was an idea from Rob, actually. I've got like a clipboard, and it tells me what I need to do every day, just to sort of split it up a bit, all the little tasks. So one day I'll be feed and spray pods, which will just do literally once a week. Give some more food than others. I don't feed the frogs every day, but I've had a bit of a problem with my fly cultures, and they're not. I've got loads of casters in, but no flies. I bought a new one yesterday, but I bought an intermediate, so it's sort of got a lot of casters in, but not many flies. And then randomly I'll take some casters out of the fridge, either put them straight into the spider enclosures or hatch them and then put them in the fridge to cool them down, and then grab a fly out and put it into each of the spiders. And then some days I feed and some days I add. So I'll add an enzyme to every tank midweek, and then the following week I'll use probiotics, and then the following week I'll use an enzyme and stuff. And then water changes, I usually do them on a Saturday and a Sunday, but of late I've been doing them on a Friday, on a Monday and a Tuesday, or a Sunday and a Monday. I probably don't need to do the water changes as often as I do, because the tanks are pretty stable, but I'm just in that habit, so I keep doing that. Let's have a look at chat. I'm back here now. How's your spider gone, Rob? Did you lose it or move it on? They only live for a couple of years anyway, so I lost one of mine not long ago. And if I'm honest, I might replace them, but unlikely. So I'm probably not going to replace them when they go. They don't really do much. I think if you can manage to get one that will really interact with you, the jumping spiders, and want to spend time with you, then yeah, I've never managed to get any of mine out. Not to the point where they're on your hand. I've tried a few times. They're just scared of us, and they're not very. They don't really do much. Whereas the shrimp are active, and the tank below this, I've got fishing, and I'm in the process of and snails and shrimp actually. But I'm in the process of increasing the hardness in that tank. So I'm taking the hardness up a bit more. If I'd have thought about it, I probably should have put my Neos onto the bottom of one of the racks, and where the Neos currently are, have those as carabiner tanks. But it is what it is, and they're at the right where they are. They're at the right height to catch and stuff. So what's everyone's plans for the day then? What you up to? What you got planned? Anything aquatic related? Ah, just look. Sorry, I got the shot up, but it yeah, they are boring, Rob. Yeah, I'm half tempted to knock the pads on the head, to be honest. Marie's at work. Yeah, that's my thought. It's exactly, they're taking up real estate. You probably could with um, I can't think. There's a marine shrimp that I absolutely love, and they're like a blood red with white spots on them. You get the boxing shrimp, the cleaner shrimp, and you could do the tank where it's got lots of macroalgae and stuff. So yeah, you could do it. You could definitely do it. Oh, I didn't know that, Rob. Opaeola were brackish. Rob's looking through my shrimp saying, "What is that still in there? That one's rubbish. That one's decent. Get rid of that. Keep that." I know he is. Rob should be asleep. He's he's done an all nighter again. I think probably doing water changes all night. Cardinal cleaners. They weren't sold as that blood something. They're really dark red. Can't think what they were called. I've had them. Oh, in the 90s. You are asleep. Or you're looking through my tanks going, get rid of that one, keep that one, get rid of that one. There's definitely a couple in there that I could separate. Rob's got a weird time clock, and it alters regularly. That's very true, Rob. I've been out and got do you want to see the do you want to see the do? I'm going to quickly flip this camera. So I've been and got a haircut this morning, and should at my age really. And I can't remember what I was going to say now. It was something to do with, oh yeah, and I was talking to the lady that cuts my hair, and she was going on about when she was younger, when she was asleep, she could hear a pin drop, but now it's like she's comatose, and I feel exactly the same. If I can get to sleep, once I'm asleep, I'm in a coma, 100% in a coma, and earthquakes wouldn't wake me. You know, when I was in hospital last week, I woke up about 3 o'clock in the morning, someone shaking me going, Glenn, 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 we just want to check your meds at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know. So I wasn't very happy, but yeah, definitely as I've got older, I don't know if it's because you're less fearful of things as you get older. You sort of accept that things are what they are. I'm not sure, but yeah, it won't stay like that for long. By the time the gel comes out of it and whatever she sprayed on it, I'll look like Adolf Hitler's haircut. I know you don't, Rob. I mean, last night I went to bed at midnight. Woke up at maybe 3 a.m. for the toilet, and then I woke up about 10 minutes before the alarm went off at 7. But I was, it took me ages to come round. I was in a deep coma. Thank you. I was proper in a coma, and I'm not taking. I'm taking some medication, but when my back was really bad, I had to take medication to knock me out to the point where I was proper knocked out, and I'm not taking that at the moment. But I've got let's see if we can get on them. I know the quality is not as good as Rob's. My Zoom's not as good. I've only got a 23. Rob's got a 24. My missus is waiting for an operation, a big major operation. I think the operations he's having is what Princess Kate had, but's never actually said she had that operation, and she'll be off her feet for 6 to 8 weeks afterwards. And she was really struggling yesterday. Had a lot of pain in the lower stomach, and she went to sleep in the afternoon from probably 1, got up about 5, went back to bed at 7, got up at 9, and then slept all night. She can sleep for England. She can. Yeah, I thought I'd bought a 24, but it was a 23. I know there are, Rob, and that's off my own colony as well. So there's some definite. I need to call the tank. I'm tempted to call them into another Galaxy tank, so have a low grade Galaxy tank and sell some of the low grades off, and then sort of concentrate on keeping the sort of good grade Galaxies and separating out the boas and crossing the boas and seeing what we can do with that. Some really nice shrimp in there. I know I'm not going to keep loads of people on at this time of day, and I believe our American cousins are probably, although I think Gord never sleeps because it doesn't matter what time of day we go on live. And think Gord's in Canada. Gord's always on the live, morning, noon, night. I think Gord gets a ping and he wakes up and comes on the live. I know there is. Now that I've moved my mixed, I selected about 5 shrimp out of here last night into the mixed tank, but I'm so tempted to select some out into another Galaxy tank. Yeah, you and me both, that surgery. Good to bat. I mean, there is some class in that tank. There's a couple of rubbish. So there's one sort of at 3 o'clock, 2 or 3 shrimp in. Low grade needs to come out. And I always get I always get advice from Rob when I'm selecting. And you know when I know what I'm doing, but you know when you just want that reassurance. But I always go back to Rob for the reassurance. But I do know what I'm doing with selecting. Rob knows that I know what I'm doing when selecting, because when I visited Rob's and he gave me free rein with the net, he says, "You've nicked my boa," and I says, "It just looked really nice," so I took it. Yeah, they need a bit of a cool, John, but there are some nice shrimp in there. There's some not so nice, but I'm debating whether to. I've got a couple of tanks cycling. One's nearly ready. The plan was to move my mixed tigers down there. I mean, to be honest, I've got to move my mixed tigers into my mixed tank and just get rid because just get rid. But I'm tempted to do to cull out this tank into another Galaxy tank, because even the low grades, dependent on what genetics they've got, there might be some really nice stuff come off them that I can throw back into the high grade tank. It's a plan. Oh, my balance has gone. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going to unplug the microphone a second. I've got this on a gimbal that's, I know it's unbalanced, and DJI phone one, and it spat its dummy out and just lost balance. I've had it years. Yeah, it's done it again. It doesn't like it. Let me see if I can rebalance it. Bear with me. It's got power. So my it always goes in reverse. It should stay balanced now. So that one right in the center of the screen there, wow. That definitely needs selecting into its own tank. I did take your prize shrimp, Rob, and I'm eternally eternally sorry, and but also grateful. So that one right in the center of the screen. And one of the things is, when you see them on camera, they're totally different in real life. The metallics on that are so intricate. But I've caught my dragon bloods that I had from Rob. I've caught them in a certain light where they're almost like an oil slick on the side of them. There's that much colour in them. I didn't think bots could drive cars. Well, not yet anyway. Although John's car could probably drive itself with a software update. Right, where have I put my vape? Let's zoom out of those a little bit. There you go, that's nice. And it appears, looking at the rest of the tank, that something in here has just molted, because I've got a load of males zooming around all over the place. See them? It's not just for food either. They're searching. So the countless babies that we've already got in here are going to end up being more countless babies. And I have spotted a blue steel. Let me see if I can. Not that one. If I get an opportunity to put one in the net, if it comes anywhere near me, you'll get a better view of it. Not you. Come on, turn around. There's actually a lot of metallic in that. I don't know how well that shows up on camera. But put the net in, and the shrimp decide to want to come all over the net. I'll rephrase that, to climb all over the net. Lady Oda. Rob's off to metallic sheen, nice. Off to wharf in a Tesla next week. Yeah, John's got a Tesla. Calls it the spaceship. If I have an opportunity, I'll put one in the net. Yeah, I'll tell you what, part the subs of Palmer and Watkins were well timed yesterday. All the subs were needed, even the left back. No, I can't remember his name. So I'm waiting for some. I order from somewhere in Europe. One of my suppliers is in Europe, and I had an order come yesterday, and I've got another one from another supplier today. So 2 orders placed, and place one Sunday and one Monday, and with all the customs stuff done, they do it their end. I say the Sunday one came yesterday. So what's that? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days, and the Monday one's coming today. So 3 days, 3 days to get orders from Europe, and the shipping's 13, 14 euro, and the heavy parcels. Come all over the net. Yeah, but he plays for Villa. I thought Foden was incredibly unlucky, but see how different he plays when he puts him in his correct position. He doesn't play on the left, and But I thought he was incredibly unlucky. That goal that was really tight, that shot that was really a tight angle. He should have. If that was kicked off the line, he was unlucky, and the other one weren't far off. But I'm glad he took him off. Tired legs, save him. Who does Palmer play for? Chelsea. I am a Villa armchair supporter. I used to actually live one road next to Villa Park, not Villa Park, a road behind that. So my first house was a road past Villa Park. The road that runs on the side of Villa Park, not the entrance end, the opposite side. We were the next road back. That's why match days were brilliant for parking. They had used to have a thing in the window of your car to be able to get up the streets. They were blocked off so nobody could park. But you could hear them. My memory of Villa Park is Bruce Springsteen doing a concert there, and I climbed up on the roof, got up onto the chimney, and you could just about see about a third of the stage. So if you can find out when Bruce Springsteen played at Villa Park, you'll know when that was, and I would have been. I bought my first house at 19. So for anyone that keeps shrimp, this is Epidama. So I think I mentioned earlier that what I do is when I do feed, I rotate my feeds. So I do, if I fed Epidama today as an example, my next feed won't be Epidama. And when I've got tanks that are very full of baby shrimp, in order that the baby shrimp get fed, I put in a powdered food. So let's see if I can turn that round. So I put in a powdered food. At the moment I'm feeding Pico newborn, and it is there's two, there's newborn and juvenile, that I literally just put 1 spoon in, and you probably see some particles dropping down, and it just sort of spreads everywhere and gives the juvenile shrimp chance to get something to eat. I mean, there's plenty of algae and biofilm in this tank anyway. Yeah, 19. I doubled my money in a year on that house. So you can see all the little bits of that food floating around now. So they'll settle on the filter and on the floor, and everybody gets a little feed of that. So I didn't buy another house then till we bought this one. So that was sold, and I was young. I think I bought a sports car, but I didn't actually buy another property until I bought this one 20 years ago, and I'm 50 or 21 years ago. and I'm 56 now. And I often wonder if I'd have actually knuckled down and not been a mad teenager or young man, if I'd have reinvested that into another property, another property, another property, what would I actually be living in now? But, you know, regrets, pointless in it, it's done. It's been and gone, and we are where we're at, and I believe we're where we're supposed to be as well. That all them little particles in the water is literally one teeny spoon there, and it's probably about a tenth of a teaspoon, that. So if I show you my thumbnail next to it, that's all that is. But it's so fine, such a fine particle, that you know, it settles, it will settle, and it'll sit on the filter, the shrimp will graze the filter, it'll settle on the ground, the shrimp will graze the ground. I'm not a wealthy man. I'm wealthy in life and attitude, not money. I'm younger. Yeah, I'm older than you. Then, good. I was 56 in May. But what a great year to be born, 1968. The summer of love, apparently. I was actually born in it, so the summer of love must have been 9 months before that. Yeah, you can use it for Neos as well. And fish fry. You know, be thankful for what you've got, because there's people less fortunate, you know, loads less fortunate. So I'm definitely, I'm thankful, I'm content, happy with my life, even though I'm struggling and in pain. It is what it is. I think I learned a long time ago that there's some things you just can't change, and you've just got to get on with it. I weren't. I was born in the summer of 68 in May, so 4 months. August bank holiday 67. So yeah, summer of 67. They reckon the most popular month for being born is September in Western countries is September, the 9th month, because people get busy at Christmas and New Year with alcohol and many other things. Oh, I've got a fly. I'm just gonna feed. Who shall I feed? Who wants this fly? I think I'm gonna give it to Philippa. Sorry guys, I'm just I've just got a fly in between my fingers. I've got a green bottle in my fingertips. Literally, I've just watched it hatch out of a caster, so I've given it to my Phidippus regius called Philippa. Or swallowed. See, this is what I'm saying. Things are what they're supposed to be. We're at 51 minutes, guys. I'm gonna go for the hour and then I'm gonna wrap up, I think. Is there anything in the room anyone wants to see for the last few minutes? Rob's dirty mind. What's a Philippa? Ah, you want to see Philippa? Let's go and see Philippa. Shout. So there's the fly that I just put in, and Philippa's in there. She'll come out when she realises there's a fly in there, and then in there, that's the back end of Yoshi, and then in here we've got. It's difficult to get in there. We've got, so this spider's name A-hole because it's a Sorroa, so she got a Sorroa A-hole. Sore asshole. And then in here we've got, let's see if I can get the camera in. Will it focus? We've got an Apache Cola spider called Pepsi, and I've put some green bottle casters in here, so these will just hatch hopefully in the spider enclosures. They're not big, so this, you know, the small enclosures, they're only small spiders, but we sell loads of stuff in here. Planaria traps, magnets, thermometers, air stones, various shrimp foods, sea chem scrapers, botanicals, lots of botanicals, no planaria. I've got pots with bits and pieces. That's my board. That's my board for what I do daily. Sponge filters, loads of other different botanicals. Frog tank. So I was supposed to be getting some frogs, but the guy's being an utter knob, and just he'll respond to messages. You get a bit of a conversation going, then he just goes dead. So I've sacked him off. Froggies. We've got various minerals for different things. So I've started using this Blue Wizard. I used to use GH plus LC, but I'm struggling to get it. Carbon, glass cleaner, fish foods. So all these are different fish foods that I'll sell. Spirulina granules, guppy mini granules, catfish pellets, green stick-on food tablets, flakes, various. There's loads. This is what Rob shows you that's feeding Vitalis shrimp pellets, bee pollen, various different shrimp foods, bacters, and additives. So multi-powder, that's SL multi-powder. I've run out of Milli 1 Bacta. These are Vitality bags, which you sort of like a tea bag that you drop in. No, Rob, get some good kit, mate. Various different bacterias and additives like Bioimmuno, Mironacutan, Montmarinolite. Then I sell some sea chem products, lots of Aquadit plant food, Active Start, Liquid Catappa. I do a few of the Easy Life products, so Voogle's like a fish health, and I do the Easy Carbo. I sell water pumps, air pumps, test kits, filter media, so lots of different types of filter media, heaters, Montmarine light and Mironocutum rocks, various different botanicals. Sell some rocks, some wood, little bits and pieces, specifically for shrimp tanks, really. I even sell glues and cups and cholla wood and loads of stuff. This is quite good. This is a Bing Sao ST, so this is a fertilizer specifically for the shrimp tank. Dark water extract from SL, internal filters, UGF boxes, and then down here is all my different soils. So from Akadama to SL Aqua, more black environment soil. I've got Aquasolum in stock, and then under here I've got loads of different botanicals boxed up. So everything from lotus pods to catappa bark, catappa leaves, jackfruit leaves, walnut leaves, which I'm out of stock of. Absolutely loads of stuff. These are my so these are mainly babies and a couple of adults. So I lost loads of my adults and ended up with a stack of babies of a decent grade pure red line. So most of these will be what's called no entry Hinamaru pattern. And we've got our guppies that will feature in the video shortly with some little orange neos, which I want to get rid of, to be honest. Various snails. My reds, fire reds. Got a couple of Amanos in there as well. All for sale. And then I've got pure white line. Some low grade fancy tigers. Zoom out that bit, but it's I think as well, because it's dark in here, I haven't got the lights on because of reflection. And then I've got my deep blue bolts. Need to do a bit of work on that little colony. I've got my what they're called, orange eye red devils. So once this colony gets big, this is a colony I definitely want to work on, because I want to try and get, see if I can turn it. I want to try and get that pattern where it's like a black body, won't focus, where it's like a black head and then darker markings down the body. Nice female, that, very pronounced. See the second scale that's rounded? But there's some good shrimp in here that I can work with and create a line. I mean, that one, that's a female, but not as nice as the other one. But I need the colony to be bigger because I only started with 10 shrimp. And down here we've got spotted pintos. So that's actually a red. So German spotted heads, which are quite nice. I want to try and get those going. So I struggled with a couple of my shrimp species, and all of a sudden they've took off. Then this is a tank that's been reset, that we've got biofilm forming with that dead shrimp powder. So this is the one that I've used Aquasolum, spelt it wrong. I've used Aquasolum that was a year old, and I've recycled it because it was still buffering. This is my mixed Caridina tank, so this will be the one that, as I cull, everything will go into. Let's just read it. No, I think if Bacteriae, it sort of does a similar thing, but I think Bacteriae is what's called gram negative, the bacteria that it uses, and because it's gram negative, it consumes oxygen in the water. So if you use Bacteriae, you've got to be really sparing with it, or really increase the sort of oxygenation of the water, whereas this, it's got a mix. So it's really expensive. It's 35 quid for 100 grams, but I've cycled everything on it since I've had it because I'm just so impressed with it. It was worth the money. And this is what I mean by babies and green wool. So the green wool hasn't even formed and they're already absolutely killing it. So these are my nicer fancy tigers. See what so that one's not great. That one's good. The one right in the center of the screen. See if we can focus. Let's turn the. Does it go upside down or is it no? It goes upside down. I was trying to turn the phone. Oh, it's turned itself upside down. So yeah, that one's not great. That's not bad. Let me see if I can get a couple. There's about 4 in here that I really want to separate out. That one's nice. That one there. That one's good. That one's not bad, but could do with more red in the head section. Nice pattern though. And then these are my my blues. Now there are a couple of really nice shrimp in here still. Like, where is he? That one there. But again, look at the metallic elements in the heads. These aren't necessarily expensive. If I can get a line of those going, you're probably talking, if I can get the quality up and the intenseness of the red up, you're looking at £100 a shrimp for you know a decent one. In Asia and Europe, they can go for thousands of dollars or euros. And then these here are my orange-eye blues. And this colony was started with 4 shrimp. And there's loads of them. And madly, I experimented with them and put them on Tropica soil in June 23, and it's still at 5.5 pH. And then if we move up, these are my, so this was the experiment tank I was speaking about, where I crossed reds with an orange-eye blue. So that's like a wild red. Let me see if I can find my funky one. I've only spotted one that's really, I called it my Aston Villa shrimp because it was almost claret and blue. All of these are soft water, so they're all at 5GH 0KH and buffered with the soil. So the only thing that I really change is the only thing I really change with them is the pH, and the soil takes care of the pH. So these are on blow soil about 6.3. These are where's he gone? Just seen one. So yeah, most of them on the cross ended up being like wild tiger, just wild tiger. But I have got a couple. I've since put some tangerines in here as an experiment as well, just to get some mad mixes on the go. But there's a shrimp in here that's got like a rusty back with like a bluish underbelly. And these are on matten filter. It's the only one I've got on a matten, where my uplift's at the back there, and it's on a matten filter. And then these I think are all male. There was a couple of females because they did breed, but I think they've ravaged the females to death. But under a certain light, the metallic sheen in these is unreal. They actually look like an oil slick. And I think Rob may have some orange eye versions of these, but somebody asked if orange eyes are blind. Yeah, they are. Tangerine. I mean, they don't use sight much anyway. And these are my tangerines. And that's probably a complete tour of the room. No, it's not. I'm going to let me grab something because I need to get low and on the floor. And if I get there without something to help me get up, I won't do this. So I'd always recommend these as a first starter for somebody having Caridina. So these are called Bloodshot, and they're a stable cross with a tangerine tiger and a red tiger. And obviously they've got like red spotting, so you can see the red tiger markings on them, but they are stable. But they breed like crazy, so and they're bulletproof. I mean, look at the babies in there. There's literally babies everywhere. So at the moment as well, I'm doing some of these mesh pads and just growing them in. So I've got a couple in here that are 8 centimetre with flame moss on, and then this is a rare moss called Hookeracia, and Hookeracia moss. Then I've literally just tied these. They'll grow in. That's hooker moss, but I've obviously braided that to tie some up. But it grows like that. And sort of, mine were on 5 centimetre mesh pads. I mean, they're a couple of years old, but I need to trim them back. But it's a rare moss, and they need, I need to thin some out. So those are our Bloodshots, and then next to those, I've got a vacuum. Next to those, so this again is a bit of an experiment tank, and these are red galaxies. So this one's not a bad shrimp. It's got nice colour, nice legs, but I've got a lot of weaker ones in here from a pattern perspective like that. I mean, it's still a galaxy because it's got the face spots, but its back line's not great. Hookeracia, it's called. But what I've been doing, what I'd like to do is, there's a baby there, look. What I'd like to do is, you see the colour in that one? See how deep the colour is? I'd like to get somewhere, and that looks male. So most of the genetics come from the male, but crossing that with that female, so you've got that depth of red with that pattern. So that's flame moss, by the way. Just grows up, doesn't attach to anything. And then down here, I did a bit of an experiment. So those, let me see if I can turn this round again. I did a bit of an experiment with, I separated out some more white dominant fancy tigers, and that's all that's in there, sort of white dominant. So there's more white on them than red, and we've got, I think there was about 10. Now these haven't bred that well, but we've got a couple of generations of babies in there, not millions. So we'll let those go and see how that does. But this tank, I selected 7 of what I saw as really nice galaxies with, and this never shows up well on camera. The back of them is almost like a light rose gold, bronzy, yellowy, goldy colour. I had them on a breeder box up in here, so this was folded up on a breeder box, and I even cut. Let's take this off. I even cut the condensation tray to match perfectly the breeder box, and had it shut right to the breeder box. So the weir was going here, and out of the 7, I thought, where's them shrimp gone? They'd gone over the weir, climbed over, and actually dried out on here. So I lost 3 of the 7. So I had 4 shrimp in here. I didn't date it, which I should have. I had 4 shrimp in here, and I'm going to give you a bit of a tour of the tank. And this is zoomed in quite heavy. See, that's probably a better picture of the colour. It's almost gold. See that red? What they do throw out red, so that red will come out and go into the red tank eventually. And that one, but you see there's like different sizes, so I've literally gone from 4, so there's 3 reds I can see. There's over 100 shrimp in this tank. See, that shows the colour well, but the face on that isn't great. But there's well over 100 shrimp in this tank. I've got a very short midweek video. I can't remember when it's done in it. It's called From 4 to 100. Let's have a look through how hard water do you keep them on. So completely soft, 0 kH, 5 GH, Balts or Tigers. Yeah, tropical soil's decent. I was shocked because it's not a shrimp soil. It does leach ammonia, so you do need to cycle it. Oh, the bloodshots. Yeah, they do a bit, yeah. They breed like crazy, though. William needs that moss. To be honest, so yeah, I mean, I'm lucky with the 4, getting 4 and getting them to breed. I've just actually watched something molt, I think, one of the babies. I'm sure that's just molted, a red one. Yeah, it's not what I'd do. I to get a colony going, personally, I think you need 20 shrimp, because I've bought 10 and had 1 female. And the males have went, when she molts and she's ready to breed, the males have killed her because they've just gone hell for leather and killed her. So I think if you start a colony with 20, you've got a really good mix. See, that sort of shows that gold colour a little bit better. I say it never shows up well on camera. It's totally different in real life. It's more like a rose gold, pinkish. But I mean, just you can see the babies, and the smaller ones than you can pick up on camera. So it is possible, and I've done it a couple of times, but I wouldn't recommend it if I wanted to build a colony. So my example is, see these pure white line? I did. Yeah, especially if they're expensive ones. I've just added another 10 to these because they get old and mine had stopped breeding, but the parameters are absolutely perfect. So I've bought another 10 and added them, and now I've probably got about 20 in there. So I think I've got about 10, 12. There's quite a few up on there, but I think I've got about 10, 12, 15. And I thought, let's reinvigorate the colony and drop another 10 on there and see how they go. But I may have missed the spring boom with these. The other thing is, although these breed for fun. Same soil, same tank, set up on the same day. These don't breed like those do. The only thing I can think of is I don't heat any of my tanks, but heat rises, so the bottom tanks are colder than the middle and the top tanks because of the lighting. And my AC unit's there, but that also heats. So are they too cold? And I don't have any thermometers. It's definitely one to look at. And my is that a boost or a crypt? It needs dipping, but it looks like a boost, and it's throwing me a flower. Cool. Hour and 17 minutes, guys. I'm going to end there. So it wasn't planned. The difference with these and Neos is these won't breed weak. They'll all be the same colour. And as I say, they are. So that one's heavily buried. There's a few buried in here. That isn't. I have definitely seen a couple, 3 or 4 buried. But they breed for fun, and their babies survive really well. They've absolutely destroyed all the algae on the walls, because at one point there was like a wall of them. So this is, I'll just do this plant. It never really got dark green, but that's Bucephalandra mini needle leaf from Tropica, and I've actually attached it to a Montmarine light rock, and there's a nice little snail there, look. Montmarine light rock that is good for tanks like. So okay guys, so we're down to the last couple. Thanks for everyone for hanging about, but I'm going to end the stream there. So getting the temp. Yeah, I've got a gun as well actually. I used it for the spiders. But I'm going to end there, guys, and go and grab myself a cup of tea. Take care, everybody.